I'm not looking for an argument, people. I'm really not. In my humble opinion, sheep are one of the most, if not the most defenseless animals out there. I've used this analogy many a times. Sheeple, sheep people act like sheep, motivated by constant fear, rightfully so, it's a desired result, surrounded by ravenous wolves, released and unleashed upon us by names I dare not say here, stampede us to cry out for help from our mighty Shepard, yep, Big Daddy Government, to save us. Oh, what's the government going to do? This government's got to do something. What's the one-line takeaway from that stupid analogy? The sheep fear the wolf, but it's the shepherd who eats them in the end, people. It is Thursday, the 12th of May, 2022, or so they'd have us believe. I think my neighbor at the end of the street got drunk again last night because his fucking dogs were just driving me nuts for the last 2 hours. I like dogs, but I don't like drunk neighbors that turn them loose. Okay, a number of sound bites, most of them short. Interesting feedback on yesterday's podcast. Some of you are in serious denial, people. I'm just going to leave it there. No more comments are necessary. Alright, second thing up on the agenda. Now, while the mainstream media, the paper of record, the New York Times, the rest are distracting us with this endless Ukraine $40 billion assistance added to the $13 billion already approved aid package, it takes a far-left comedian to point out the obvious effing truth. A far-left communist wannabe comedian like Jimmy Dore? You gotta be shitting me. No, I'm not. Listen to this.
Provoking Russia, provoke this conflict in Ukraine. It's not anything like you've been told on the corporate news media. Go look at our video for what they're not telling you about the Ukraine war, and you'll see what they're not telling you. But what we've been telling people is that they're a nuclear power, and we shouldn't be doing this. This is unbelievably reckless. And if Trump was doing this, people would be going crazy, as they should. But they're not, because it's Joe Biden and the Democrats and NATO. And now even the Wall Street Journal is urging nuclear war. You think I'm kidding? Look at this headline. The U.S. should show it can win a nuclear war. That's in the Wall Street Journal. That's still up. That was from April 27th. Or April 29th. Let me look.
27th.
April 27th. By Seth Cropsey. He gets to write an opinion piece over at the Wall Street Journal. I don't know who the hell that guy is, but apparently
I found him in the sheets.
Oh, you did?
Okay, enough of that. Yeah, you're poking the bear, people. The Russian bear might have some interesting repercussions. And fear porn gets the sheep stampeded. Works very well. That's why they use it so often. From ABC News, let's bring in an expert, because the experts always know what they're talking about, and you will find the truth on MSM. Here we go.
With us now, answering a few questions. Here's a question for you, Dr. Ashton. Is bird flu still a danger?
Not only is it a danger, it is evolving and it is getting the attention of the world. There is an H5N1 avian influenza outbreak right now spreading through Asia, Europe, North America. There have been hundreds of thousands of birds infected right now, poultry. The USDA is on top of this. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. Right now, the risk to humans is considered low. However, this strain of influenza has infected human beings before. It has a very high fatality rate. There is no risk of eating the poultry. We should underscore that point.
No risk of eating the poultry. So don't eat the poultry, people. Let's destroy it all so nobody can eat it. Fear porn at its best. Nobody questions her based on what information, ma'am. She's a doctor. You don't question doctors, people. Brian, yep, another home run from his backup channel, Grease Monkey Videos. You know what? Great minds think alike. I was on top of this, and he beat me to it. And he says it's so good, I'll let him do the talking. I have no problem deferring to another well-organized watchman on the wall. Here we go.
It says, the bird flu outbreak nears worst ever in U.S. with 37 million animals dead. It says, a bird flu virus that's sweeping across the United States. Just take our word for it. That's what's happening. This is what mainstream media does. Can we ask a little question here, teacher? how do we know it's sweeping across the United States? How have you guys determined this? Can you guys offer up some evidence to substantiate this claim right here? Because that's a pretty serious claim that this thing is ravaging the United States, and we've never seen anything like this before. Is rapidly becoming the country's worst outbreak, having already killed over 37 million chickens and turkeys, with more deaths expected through next month as farmers perform mass culls. Okay, so what's killing them? Is this killing them? Or is it the farmers performing mass culls because somebody told them to kill them? That's my question. And so this, Bloomberg continues, under guidance of the federal government, and we can always trust the federal government. When they make rules, regulations, and ordinances and laws for us to follow, we know it's for our good, right?
There are shepherds, are they not?
They would never steer us wrong. They would never lie. They would never intentionally deceive us into thinking something was true when it's not, right? Under the guidance of the federal government, farmers must destroy entire commercial flocks if just one bird tests positive for this V word to stop the spread. Now, where have we heard that phrase before? Stop the spread. Flatten the curve. Where have we heard this? Let me read it again. Under guidance of the federal government, farms must destroy entire commercial flocks. What if they don't? What if they disobey the guidance of the federal government? Will there be penalties? Will there be fines? Will there be jail time? Farmers must destroy entire commercial flocks if just one bird tests positive for the virus. There are some of these farms like Cobb Farms, COBB Farms, that have 225,000 to 500,000 birds on their property. You mean to tell me if just one bird tested positive, the federal government is going to come in and give guidance to those farmers that they need to apply the foam on the floor of the chicken house so that they can all expire? If that's the case, then what actually killed them? The culling from the farmers as directed by the federal government. Why? What test is being used? Is it that same P C R test?
You know it is, people. Look at how misleading those headlines are. It is just sickening. You would think it's the avian flu that's killing 37 million chickens and turkeys. But no, it's the farmer ranchers that are forced to cull their herds. The crisis is hurting egg-laying hens and... Okay, no, never mind, I didn't want to read that. That's leading to distressing scenes across rural America. In Iowa, millions of animals in vast barns are suffocated in high temperatures or with poisonous foam. In Wisconsin, lines of dump trucks have taken days to collect masses of bird carcasses and pile them up in unused fields. Neighbors live with the stench of decaying birds. Remember what the other doctor said? Well, you can still eat them. No, you can't. Not if we're killing them and throw them out in the field. Stunning. What better way to end this rather short podcast with our friend and favorite villain? Yep. Oh, cue the Bond music, people. Here we go.
The world has to overcome not only the damage done to our economies and our societies by COVID-19, it also has to confront the repercussions of a dangerous clash between major global powers. History is truly at a turning point. We do not yet know the full extent and the systemic and structural changes which will happen. However, we do know that global energy systems, food systems, and supply chains will be deeply affected. In times of crisis, the role of governments is more important and more relevant than ever.
They're going to give the shepherds more powers, people, but that's okay because we're from the government and we're here to help you. I don't know if you guys know Mike Adams from Health Ranger. He has kind of done something very sinister and cryptic. I mean, he didn't, how do I say this? Let me just put it this way. Mike Adams has gone from situational daily updates to citizen's log. Yeah, he's making a log. Let him explain this to you. Hold on, right here.
Present to the future survivors of the war. I'm Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. Thank you for joining me for this Citizens Log report. We're launching a website that's going to host all of these. It's called citizenslog.com. It's not yet live, but it will be shortly. Now, my job with these Citizens Log files, and by the way, this was inspired by Star Trek Captain's Log, Stardate, whatever. This is Citizens Log. I'm a citizen. My job here in the present is to observe and to report to people in the future who want to know what happened. Those few survivors will be very curious what happened to human civilization, and in fact, I'm desperately hoping I can provide this in a format that they will be able to hear.
Okay, I don't mean Mike Adams is sinister. I'm saying circumstances. Now, he's another worthy watchman on the wall. He has gone from making his used-to-be daily situation reports, where we are today, people, to now Citizens Logs, how we got here today, to future generations, future survivors, if any. It's kind of spooky, don't you think? Alrighty, well, it is Thursday. No rest for the wicked. I got stuff to do, and you know I do.